there. Anyway, I'm back out on the high street, just got myself a Lucozade. I've decided it's probably too warm for me, I think, out here. So I'm going to head back, I think. Just been listening to some music back up there, which is kind of, I'd call it reggae, but I should have asked the guy really what that was, or what he thought that was. But yeah, it's like music being blasted out up that end. I've only been out here about 20 minutes possibly. 20 minutes too much, I think. So I'm going to head back. It's too early for anything to be happening. Well, saying that, there's a few shady places about, but I could be classed as that as well. So anyway, I'm going to head back. It's too hot for me. So no, I think it's hotter in the house. Unless you're sitting downstairs all the time, then it's a little bit cooler. Anyway, quite mad down there at the minute. After dark it gets a bit crazy, but I think now I'm recognising who, well, obviously I got told who the villains were the other night by that other fella. They ain't done nothing to me. I spoke to them a couple of times, done nothing to me. I'm probably not their kind of target. He said to me, what have you done to the top of your head? I've got a lot of scars in the top of my head. I said, that's when I was having a fight, I got bottled. I think that put him off. Yeah, top of my head, quite a few scars. That's when I was trying to help my mate one night. There weren't no weapons involved. Suddenly some geezer decided to bosh me over the head with a bottle, but nice man he was. Many years ago. To be honest, when you get bottled, you don't really know you've been bottled. You just feel like a bit, I suppose it's the same as getting stabbed, even though I've never been stabbed, but they say you sort of feel a wet sort of sensation, which is what I got on my head. Yeah. Didn't see it coming either, the bottle. That came from behind me, so, but no, did it. Crazy, eh? But yeah, I think I'm getting to know people up that dodgy area now, where I'm seeing the same faces every day, and I think a majority of them are not up to anything. That's what I think. I think a majority of them are probably getting misconstrued for being up to something, when they're actually not up to anything, or that I can see. Then they're probably, like I said before, I'm probably not their kind of target. No doubt it does go on, but I ain't seen it. Then again, the other night when that other geezer, he was kind of in their little gang, and he said, oh, by the way, watch them, they go around robbing people, that's what they do. They sort of sit there, looking at what's what. I suppose they see someone who's a bit gullible or a bit whatever, they're on them. He come up and told me. But then when I see them, they're all right with me. But yeah. But I hear that, what is it, Gillingham Park after dark, it's supposed to be really, really bad. But I ain't done that one yet. I suppose if you was a proper fucking crackhead and you wanted to get your bit of gear and escape, you'd be looking at Gillingham Park or something like that, that's more covered up, but who knows what's up there. Probably, well, I don't know. But I've visited all the dangerous parts now, and I just blend in really. And again, I've been involved in crime myself. I'm not going to sit on here and say I'm some choir boy, do you know what I mean? So if if you've been involved in that kind of life growing up, you're going to spot these characters a lot quicker. And you know what I mean? I don't even have to try. It's just obvious for me to spot someone dodgy. Whereas I suppose if you haven't been brought up in that life, you wouldn't be spotting them, you wouldn't know Adam from Eve. But that's what I think, but who knows? Hang on a minute. You know. Who knows though, do you know what I mean? I'm still on my guard. I don't just think, right, nah, they ain't gonna touch, you know what I mean? I'm still alert to the fact that there's a lot of bad boys out there, but I didn't go around mugging people, do you know what I mean? It was a different breed of criminal when I was growing up, who had a few morals. I don't think the villains of today have got any morals. All I do know is the first one that comes up to me. I'm not going to be waiting until they've made the first move. I've done that before and ended up with a good smack in the chops. So get your smacking first, that's my motto. Because you might not be capable of getting another one in. But to be honest with you, I'm quite tall, quite rangy. Oh, it's hot out there, man. Normally I go out there to get a bit of an escape from the heat. But literally, it's everywhere today. There's only so much fizzy drink you can drink. I'm going to drink some more. Interested to find out. I'll be interested to find out. I might go down there later and ask that Rastaman what the music is. There's this Rastaman sitting outside his shop. And they're booming out the reggae tunes. They sound really good. Wow. It's my battery on 62%. I'm starting to burn right up now. This is too hot for me, people. I think this is the hottest summer ever. That's why I'm prepared to say that now. Someone was on about 76. It was quite hot. I've never known prolonged heat like this. There's a different sort of heat in my old house. Obviously, I'm near the sea now. I'm near water. I believe that that's having an effect, but either way, it certainly zaps you out. Then again, what would I prefer? It freezing cold or really hot? That's debatable. Drunk on me Baileys last night. Tempted to get another bottle, but I won't. I'll wait. Oh. Lost for words tonight. I'm hoping that it'll cool down a bit later. Go for another walkabout. It's going to be another hot night, so I'm guessing there's going to be quite a few people out and about. I just have to sit in the bathtub with cold water in there. What do you reckon? Tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a freezing cold drink. Because that Lucozade I just bought, it's not that cold really. Can handle this heat. The only good thing is, I've got Spanish blood. I'm English, Irish and Spanish. I just go brown, I don't burn. There's one good thing. But my dad, he was as white can be. And some of my siblings are as white can be. Luckily, I've got more of me mum's genes, I think. Because I just go brown. All them records and stuff everywhere. Tried plugging my TV in, but I've got to get the antenna from my loft. Because I believe that wire coming in is from a satellite dish. But at least we've got all the power supplies for the TV. Obviously I was a bit worried about the mixer, not having any thingamajig power for it, but luckily it's got all my pictures and that still to go up. There's just stuff everywhere. Got my vase, which was on the floor, which I quite like. It's got stuff everywhere, bags of stuff. I ain't got a clue what's in them. It got to the point where I was just chucking stuff in. Well, they only like give us an hour. Here's my mum's album, look. This is a record that my mum made in 1958. And all them girls there are all from Liverpool. And there's my mum there. And that's what my mum used to do. She used to be on all these TV shows, radio shows and all sorts. And that's probably why I'm right into the music. Because none of my other family are, but obviously me being the youngest, I am. But yeah, I'll play some of my mum's music one night. I've got her LPs down there, which is like rock and roll from the 50s. She was on the first ever musical TV shows in Britain. One of the first ever artists to perform with Caribbean artists from overseas. Loads of stuff. She basically they recorded at Abbey Road Studios, which is obviously in London. Loads of interesting stuff. And that's my Scouse connection. My other connection is obviously my dad, who's totally English on all sides, so. Right, as you go up here, the heat starts getting you. I suppose it's a good night for a workout in this kind of heat. Not that I do any working out. All the walking I do, I don't need to work out. 55 in September. It's actually good. I'm actually looking forward to like what's going on now. It's a real good start. To be honest, it couldn't have gone any better for me, the way things have turned out. I know I've had to fight to get my records back and all that stuff, but I'm still in a really good place, in a really good position. So I can't really moan too much, if you know what I mean. Saying that, it's been mind-numbing. It's been a mind-numbing 13 years, which I've never given in to them. Still now, I've never given in to them. They've expected me to just crumble away and for them to do what they wanted, but that's never happened. Um, what cracks me up is we're at this stage now, and they actually think they've got a leg to stand on where my property is concerned. Well, that was the first thing I looked into, was the legality of a landlord keeping your possessions. It doesn't matter whether you owe them £10, £100, £1,000, £10,000, or £1,000,000. It's irrelevant. It's your property, full stop. There is no argument in it at all in law. There's no, but if he did that and she did this, there's none of that. It's clear cut, black and white. That's why I feel quite confident where I am at the minute. And like I said, the only reason, hello mate, the only reason I'm letting it roll is because my social worker is trying to do it the polite way. Fair enough, go for it. But as soon as it comes back, we'll give him another hour, that's it. I should say to my social worker, great respect to you, do you know what I mean? But now I'm going to play the last card, which I told him what that is, which is just me turning up at Medway County Court, and boom, that day I'll get the injunction. And it's not an injunction for an hour, it's so I can get all my property in one go, which really you would have thought Clarion would have wanted in the first place. Let's get him sorted and get him out. But clearly they don't want that, do they? Otherwise they would have done that. There must be something more to the game, which I ain't worked out. But to be honest, they can be up to whatever they want, to be honest with you. I think they've done about as much as they can give to me. No, I'm not. I'm just happy to get away from them, mate. I don't mind who I pay for me rent. I just can't deal with them anymore. I really can't. They've got no compassion or no anything, no empathy. What's the word for people that ain't got empathy? There's a word. People like that. I forget what it is. A narcissist, that's it. Narcissistic behaviour is definitely what they portray, or it's what I'm getting, the vibes I'm getting. Indeed, mate, you got it. Yeah, they're coming across very like that, like they haven't got any sympathy or any whatever at all. Maybe they're all fucking processed to think like that. You've got to be a bit of a heartless bastard, don't you? But to be honest, there must be something more to the game, otherwise why ain't I in there and out? That's what even the police thought it was a joke. The police girl said they'd given you an hour. And that's when she decided to help me. She was quite impressed that I'd rung her, stating what the law was, and I was right. Really, the other day I should have just sat down and said, well, I ain't moving till all my stuff's out the front, and just carried on. But obviously I had the other two fellas to think of. I don't want to get them in trouble. I don't care what happens to me. I can deal with whatever. They can throw me in the cell. I've been there and done all that. That's not going to really affect me. But obviously, the social worker and his mate, I don't want to get them in trouble. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment. There's only so much waiting I'll be doing. We can't wait forever. Whether they're trying to, well, I don't know what they're trying to do. But to be honest, I've had no contact with them, Clarion. The only contact I've had was the other day for that hour. They don't sort of communicate with me at my request. I can't start engaging in nice conversation with them. But the last thing I said to the girl was, she was chatting like they were going to take over all my belongings. And last thing I said to her, I went up to her, I said, just for the record, don't matter whether you let me in again or not, you don't own any of that. And she was just silent. And then she said, and then I said, oh, I can go to court and get straight in. She said, well, you do that then, thinking that I'm just talking shit, but I'm not. And we will all be doing that. See, that pissed them right off once I get the court order, because there's nothing that goes over that. They can't go back to the court and say, no, we're not going to let him have his things, because that's illegal. So there's nothing they can actually do to counteract my move, if you get me. It's been a bit of a chess game, to be honest, for 13 years. And to be honest, I could have dragged it out for another 3 years, but that's why I left before they came. I'm avoiding all the confrontation, which they probably want, because if you're looking to get put in a cell and locked up, confrontation is the best thing to do. You're going to end up banged up. I know that. So I'm not going down that route. I'm going down the calm and collected route, which has probably thrown them a lot. Do you know what I mean? They're used to the old me, where I'm ranting and raving, effing and blinding, and I'm not now. I'm just gone beyond that. But they do need lessons in. I don't know what they need lessons in. They need lessons in something. Of course, it's cooling down a bit now. I've got any weed left. Where's all the weed gone then? I've got a few spliffs, look here still. I have a joint. Like, put music on, some music on, and sit on the curb and have a joint. Only thing about my front door is you open it and boom, you're straight out on the path. But it's all good, man. I think people are getting to see me now around here. I've blended in quite well, but I'm a complete puffhead, you know what I mean? So I'm going to blend in well anyway. You go out there after dark, it's like everywhere. Everyone's smoking it. Yeah, quite enjoy it around here, gotta say. I feel quite at home with all these dodgy people. Probably because I've been a bit dodgy myself, do you know what I mean, over growing up and that. Oh. Obviously in my day we had nothing to do really. These kids today are spoiled for things to do out there. Then again, I'm not involved in any crime I'm not involved in any crime out there. I think that's where where the arguments probably occur with the dealers and all that. But yeah. Crazy, eh? But I still gotta say, I'm absolutely loving it though. Being sort of here, and still got a long way to go before I'm completely wherever I'm going to be, but oh yeah mate, definitely, you were there yourself, do you know what I mean? You saw what I saw. I can remember when they were building Marshall Gardens, because Marshall Gardens used to be in my back garden before they built it, and then they shortened our garden when they were building that. That was when I was a little boy, 70s that would have been. That was the first real development in Adelaide. When you had the old flat roofs and all that. Yeah, I can think back to them days. Crazy. At least there was a better community spirit, I think, back then. I don't think there's a lot of community spirit now. I think back in them days, everyone knew everyone. Everyone knew everyone's family. But now it's just, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm just getting old. need to get some power into this phone. It's because I've been a kit for a couple of days. What it is, my medication just makes you go crazy for a couple of days, but then you go to sleep for a couple of days. As people have probably noticed by my pattern. But I'm back now. I'm starting to wake up. God knows what Adelaide would be like when all the Mouses are in there. It'd be interesting to come back now and again, just to have a look, see what's going on, see if I can annoy. Don't get me wrong, I could have stayed in Adelaide at a couple of my pals' houses, but I didn't really want to intrude, and that way I'm not going to get my own place, am I, if I'm stopping with my mate? And I had a couple of mates that I could have stayed with, but I didn't want to put that on them. I'd rather me go the way that I went, because now I've got somewhere. No, there isn't, mate. Like when I was growing up, people left their doors open. There were still villains about, but villains had morals, do you know what I mean? People I grew up with doing dodgy stuff, we had morals. We didn't go around robbing old grannies and or what they do nowadays, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely cooling down. I think morals have gone out the window. Anyway, I'll be back later, everyone. I'm going to charge this to 100%.